They were actually, my dad, especially by the men in the community that he was in, was always told he was allowing his girls to be too free, because girls in our community, by the time you're 18, 19, you were spoken for. You were getting married. My father was like, if you look at my girls, I'll kill you. Do not come near my girls.
The tagline on CTA is, you truly never know people until you take the time out to get to know people. What? Who are you? This tagline is really correct for this.
For this one, yes.
For this one, yes. Okay. So you've painted a beautiful picture of home, surroundings, your parents, school now. There's something, I'm understanding school, but you tell us more.
You know, yesterday my son was saying how come I liked school so much. I did. I loved school. I think there's the fear of being in Kilimani Junior Academy, not because I didn't love it. I had the best friends. I loved school from when I was tiny. I can never remember a day where I thought, I hate school. So for me, Kilimani was fear. It was just a fear of how it was run. But I always tell this story that I didn't leave Kilimani. I was dragged out by my mother because they didn't pay school fees. I don't know if you know this, if you've ever heard me tell this story, but I've said it. So let me tell you how it happened. My parents hadn't paid school fees, and they were late a couple of times. When you're an entrepreneur, if business is not good, some things will suffer, and that was what happened.
And they're still in the logistics and the trucking business at this time?
Yeah. They never changed anything. They were that until their dying days.
Wow.
We closed that business. And I'll tell you about the family business and how the brothers then started their own things.
Okay.
And so my dad's was first Key Croc Stores and then Daly & Company, and we closed Daly & Company when he died.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that and why I chose employment over entrepreneurship in those days when he died. And I'll tell you that story. So coming back to school, they hadn't paid the school fees, and once or twice the school's going to be nice, but even to be fair to Kilimani, you've not paid again. They called my mom and said, come pick your kids. You've not paid. So my mom, with all her craziness, and my mom was unafraid, Richie. If you want to meet a woman who is not afraid of anything, it was my mother. No animal, no human, no nothing. My mom was like fearless as it comes. She walked into school and just stood there and told all of us, we were 5 of us, removed all of us, me and my cousins, and said, get out, we're going to find new schools. These people are not going to treat us the way they want. And we were removed from school one fine day, went back and sat in our house.
And what class are you at that time?
7, started 7. Yeah. So then by this time we are now living in Langata. So we finished Mr. Hinga's house. We've gone to another house on Gong Road called Sukumba Court, which is still there, by the way.
Gong Road near where?
You know where's that hotel that's there? It's a very famous hotel that's there.
Next to
the
Uchumi.
Mobil Oil and the Caltex.
Yes.
Gong Hills Hotel.
Yes.
Right next to it, there's
a Uchumi Hyper used to be.
Yes. So, no, Uchumi Hyper, the hotel, Sukumba Court is here.
Okay.
It's still there in the same format. They have not changed. We were house number 10. We lived there for the longest. And then my parents bought their house in Langata.
Gay Estate or any of those? Where in Langata?
A 2.5 acre plot right next to Bomas. I lived there.
Next to Bomas?
Yeah. I inherited that house, so I lived there.
What?
Today. We were now living there. 1986 is when they bought it. So we were brought back now home, and we were told, look for a school around here. We tested Nairobi Academy, Banda, Brookhouse, Braeburn. So my sister and my brother...
Hold on.
Yes.
If you're not doing KJA fees, now you're going to these international schools.
Wow. Have you met entrepreneurs? Sign up today, worry tomorrow. Isn't that what we do? You wake up and you're like... But listen, let me say Brookhouse was not the level it is
Yes,
now. And
yeah.
I always make fun of that, but it wasn't expensive at the time. The Nairobi Academy. So let me say, my brother chose Nairobi Academy, my sister and I chose Brookhouse. My younger sister was still a baby, so she didn't join. She was still enjoying life in Narok, back and forth, nursery school, Manenos, etc. She was still a baby.
And
She's
what
5 years
years
old.
is this? About what year now?
1986, 87 so 87, because I would finish high school in 88, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So I did my last year of high school at Brookhouse Primary.
So you, from KJ, you chill at home for some time?
I don't recall that, to be honest, but I don't think so.
Okay. So now
I think
you join
So my
Brookhouse.
brother goes Nairobi Academy, I go Brookhouse, my older sister goes Brookhouse.
Or you like just walking across the road?
Kinda, yeah, you could walk there. My brother does Nairobi Academy, and I don't know what he does at Nairobi Academy. He gets expelled, then chooses Braeburn Primary. And my older sister also then chooses, I think she goes straight to Braeburn Garden Estate. Me, I love Brookhouse. I was like, you're not... Actually, you know, one of my decisions was I ain't waking up at 5 to go to school, because I used to get up at 5. By 5:30, they're out. They have to catch the bus when I end a Garden Estate. I said, that's not my life.
Yeah.
Me, I need to be...
I went to that school as well.
Braeburn.
Yes, Garden Estate. Boarding.
At least you are boarding. From Langata,
They were
with the
day
one...
school back then.
Day school, yes. They
Kai.
were not boarding.
That's
And do you remember the
crazy.
roads were one?
Yes, it was just one way.
Nowadays, you're in Braeburn in 30 minutes. In those days, they would leave 5:30, and I think you're getting to school at 7:15, 7:30. And then that back on in the evening. So they would be dead asleep by the time 8 o'clock has reached. Me, I'm wired because school is 5 minutes away. That was one of the reasons that I'm not going across town. Yeah.
The Academy wasn't too far.
No, for me, Brookhouse.
Brookhouse is next door. Yeah, that's why I was like,
right there.
you cross the road.
Yeah. So, so Brookhouse was my school, and I absolutely loved it. I joined in standard 8, finished there. It was the last, literally, months. I remember it was months. I didn't finish long in primary, maybe a year, I think. And then I joined Brookhouse Secondary School. Brookhouse Senior School is what it was known as.
Yeah, so you didn't do KCPE, or you didn't do...
No, I did IGCSE.
You did IGCSE, but even
O
still,
levels.
O levels. O levels, it's year 11 when you do the exam, or year 10.
Form 4 is what I know.
Yeah.
Me, these years, even my kids now, when they say I'm year 11, I have to be like,
What's
this is
that?
form. So you just say form which one? I finished at form 4.
So how many years were you now in Brookhouse, and what was that like at that time?
Oh, I loved Brookhouse. I had the best time. I had the best of friends. The teachers were amazing. The school format. It was a school with 105 kids. Everyone knew each other. I loved sport. And then there were not such great sports people. So it meant I was in every... I would be like, I was under 11, please can I play for under 13, under 13, please can I play for under 15, under 15, please can I also play for under 17. So I was always sports. I hated being in class.
And what sports are you playing?
Everything. I want to play everything. I'm playing rugby, I'm playing rounders, hockey. The girls' sports were rounders, hockey, netball. Rugby was introduced. The only thing I couldn't do was swim. I can swim, but not competitive swimming. And those people who are still struggling. You know, like when you see how Kenyan Kipchoge are running and this person is still doing my laps after the commentators are done. That was me in swimming.
Yeah.
Eliud is finished. Zai is still... The janitor at the end of the day is still sweeping, and Zai is still in the pool trying to finish her laps. So swimming wasn't it. Everything else.
And, okay, were your parents incorporating you in their business? Like, for example, during the holidays, did you have those parents who are, it's mandatory, entrepreneurs sometimes, especially the Indian community, the Asian community?
Ask me, my kids, the two were on gap year.
Indian daddy.
Get up and go and work in events. No. We were too busy playing. It was so integrated. If you're in Narok in the farm, the family business is in the compound. You're not getting in a car to go to the office.
Yeah.
The trucks, the animals, the people are in these 5 acres that we're on. So you're playing in trucks. In fact, let me make you laugh, Richie. This is where people realize I might be not fully present. Was at my grandfather's funeral in 1977. I'm 2 years old. And in the Asian community, on the day, in Muslim burials, there's the open casket. The day somebody passes away at the family home, the body is brought, it's prayed, etc., etc. This is happening on our farm in Narok. The trucks, etc., it's all there. My mother and my father, my mother's there, and they're both looking at each other like, this child is walking, and she's walking towards the oil. There used to be these big cut drums, and actually it wasn't a drum, it was those big, those basins, the plastic ones. Everybody has those plastic basins, even today. And there was oil. One of the mechanics had opened up the engine and had poured all the oil in to clean it or whatever it was. Guess who went straight in for but I mean, the assumption is I'm going to play, this 2-year-old is walking around, she will realize Mimi huyo, I'm inside. So that's how I grew up. So the separation between office life, business life, working, home is not there. Even when we moved to Langata, we were in a 2.5-acre plot. At the bottom of the plot, we had built 18 houses for our ton boys, our truck drivers, etc. Because in the compound where I live now, it was 5 acres. I lied, not 2.5 acres, 5 acres. Is it 5 acres? No, 2.5 acres at the bottom. The staff would live. Still huge. So our playing in the compound looked like going to hang out with the workers. We were eating. I was eating matumbo until somebody told me what it was. Then I stopped eating it.
But you liked it.
And I liked it. But that's how we grew up. So there was never a separation of get in the car, you're going to the office. The office, actually, if it was not at home, was petrol stations. So on Gong Road, we had the Esso petrol station that today is the Ola, that was run by my parents in the early 80s. So when from Kilimani, the bus would drop us there. Because remember, we're living in Tukumba Court before we moved to Langata. So the school bus would drop us at our petrol station, and we'd do our homework and be at the petrol station until we walked home, or Fatuma would come for us and take us home. There was never a separation.
Okay. But this is so clear. Are you...
But we didn't pump gas or do record keeping or anything. No, it was just very much everyday life.
But you see, even you can tell me that you know what your parents did. Because
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched them every single day. The way the business was run is still very much ingrained. I knew the lows, the highs, the everything. I learned by watching, not by being told, how fuel is stolen, how people cook books, how staff was stealing. All those things were, by the time my father was dying, I knew exactly what to look for. Not because he had sat me down, but because I had seen them talk about it, deal with it through the years. So I keep telling people, don't underestimate children. They absorb a lot of things.
Wow.
So I knew how all that was being done.
The one who is not so there, as they were saying. Kumbe, she was there just undercover.
Yeah. But it's funny. I've never carried that burden. I never carried that. I don't think I grew up thinking, oh my God, they think I'm dumb, or it never defined who I am. It never brought me any insecurities. It never brought me down. I told you, Richie, I was so okay with being this. In fact, I think that being left alone was really good for me.
Are you thinking about the future? Are you those kind of people who are just like, when I finish school, this is what I want to do?
Yes. I knew from the age of 13 that I wanted to be a PE teacher. That's what I wanted to do. First, I wanted to run. I used to run really well. I did cross country. I used to win all the races. So in my head, I knew I could run. At some point, I think I had dreams of running for the country. Of course, now I'm like, what would I be against? But I wanted to be a PE teacher. I was very clear I wanted to be in sports. That's where I saw my life. I was either going to be on the pitch or off the pitch, but I was doing something to do with that sport. So by the time I was leaving school at O-levels, I did one term of A-levels at Brookers, and I came home and I told my parents, this is not for me, I'm wasting your money. Let me go and do my degree in at the time I didn't know what kinesiology was. I was very clear I wanted to do sports, something to do with PE, something to do with it. Either I was going to be a teacher or I was going to do something in the sporting world. That's what I was going to do.
And were you getting support from home?
Oh,
did you have that kind of family where that was Shannon, or were you supported?
No, my parents...
Do what you want.
My parents were, honestly, Richie, we were brought up in the most liberated, way possible. My parents were not strict. We could do whatever we wanted to do. They were actually, my dad, especially by the men in the community that he was in, was always told he was allowing his girls to be too free, because girls in our community, by the time you're 18, 19, you were spoken for. You were getting married. My father was like, if you look at my girls, I'll kill you. Do not come near my girls.
Wow.
They're going to be educated and they're going to go and be people first. And then if they decide to get married, it's up to them. So my mom and dad were very different. Remember, by my 18, 19, I remember there was one uncle and I saw him the other day at Westgate Mall and I thought, wow. And he looked at me and I didn't want to even greet him, because I remember what he said to me, to my father, and I'll never forget what he said to my father. And that man has 3 daughters, as does my father. And he said to my father, you're too free with your girls. They're going to end up pregnant and come home and be nobodies.
Ooh.
And so your definition of what a free girl looks like is that she's going to go and get pregnant. That's what you think is going to happen with somebody's daughter. My dad said to him, they never spoke again. He said, don't ever speak to me. He was his cousin, and he said, that's not who my girls are going to be. There was a lot of, remember, we have a son in the family. He's, in the traditional Indian way, the boy gets everything, the boy is everything. My father didn't do anything of that. We were equals, complete 4 of us equals. There's no one is more superior than the other.
Your dad understood and broke the rules when he got your mom?
No, before.
Even before?
Because remember, it's not just... In fact, I think my mom was even more traditional than my dad was. My mom was more willing to conform to the everyday than my father was. This is a man who put himself through university because he understood the value of education. For him, education was everything. So my father was very clear that... So we were supported. The bare minimum was that all of us had to get a degree. After that, if you want to go be a nyanga, go be, but don't do it on my... Right now, you finish your degree, that was non-negotiable.
Yeah. So you had peers who were your age who were being married off?
Yes.
At that time?
Yeah, or spoken for, or were going to. Or that was just how it was done. It's not bad, it's not wrong, it's just how it was.
So you guys were not the norm?
We were completely... Richie, when we were growing up, I'd hear things like, look how you're dressed. Your mother doesn't know how to dress you. Those are the kind of things you'd hear.
Okay.
Like, of course, by the time we are now doing our university degree, they're relatives of ours. So let me not paint a picture that's whatever. There's relatives of ours who I think were just naturally who they were, right?
Yeah.
Dark people, they don't want to... You just have a dark heart, no matter who it is. And so that was never... Success was never going to be something they were waiting. Then majority of my relatives were excited people. They were happy. They loved my mom. They loved my dad. They could see themselves in us. They wanted us to succeed. They still do. They still clap loudly today. Those are the relatives that I'm still in touch with. So maybe 5% is what is a dark space, and then 95% is who are the ones who are helping you win every single day. So now you've got girls who are university graduates who are now changing the way things are being done. Yeah. Remember, my father is the first person to get a university degree.
Oh, shoes. So even you guys are in that education space at that time are an anomaly.
My mother has a master's degree. Forget bachelor's. These two have a master's degree. I don't recall anybody having one in the community at the time, maybe 1 or 2 other relatives that are not living in Kenya.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal.
Yeah,
it was a big deal.
And so, of course, even he understands the value of education and he's going to send you down that path.
He did, and it almost broke him, but he did. To his dying day, he made sure we all had a university degree.
So when you tell him that you don't want to do your A-levels, that you're going into PE, sports management, what were you going into?
I was going into that, but because at first I had to sign up because I wanted to go to the US. I now don't have A-levels, I can't do the UK. And remember in those 80s, it was either America or the UK.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything else that's opened up has opened. It was maybe India, UK, US. India was not an option for me. It's, even when people tell me today, have you gone to India? I'm not sure other than on holiday what I'm going to do. My roots are here.
Yeah.
If I'm going to look for relatives, it's to say hi and come back. There's no base I'm setting up there. Neither is it in Russia. This is my home. This is what I know.
Yeah. Actually, Zah, let me use you to have this conversation. I really like when Uhuru came, when he was president, he declared the Indians as a 54th tribe.
44th, right?
Yeah. So one of the 44th tribe.
Yeah.
You're not Indian, you're Kenyan.
I'm Kenyan.
How would you explain this to somebody who sees you and...
It still happens when I go somewhere, or I'm usually asked, even the other day I was asked, are you Kenyan? I said, yes, I'm Kenyan, but a foreigner. Are you Kenyan? We were doing an event in December. I said, yes, I'm Kenyan, but you don't look Kenyan. So I was like, and what does a Kenyan look like? So they're like, but I said, okay, let me answer this. I'm half Indian, half Russian by heritage, but I'm Kenyan by birth. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Because, and I don't know why we're talking about this in today's world, where there are people in Italy or wherever it is. We shouldn't be struggling with this anymore. I can get, but yes, I still get those questions like, are you Kenyan? Yeah, if you put me in India today, I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. And I'm sure this specifically only happens to the Indian community, and maybe even we call them some people call them the KCs, the whites who've been in Kenya
Kenyan
for
cowboys,
generations.
yes.
You know, I'm okay with a foreigner doing it, but semi-okay, to be honest. I'm not okay with a Kenyan doing it. Do you get it from Kenyans? You get what I mean? Africans, blacks, I don't know how to say it, asking you, I don't know, not understanding that you're Kenyan.
No, I haven't gotten it directly. I think in the mid-80s, and I don't necessarily want to go to the political side of things, but there was a time where it was like all Indians should leave Kenya. That's not there today. I don't know that somebody comes to me directly to say it. Maybe it exists, but I'm not experiencing it. No.
Okay.
To be fair.
That's good. I mean, if that's.
I've never walked into a space, Richie, and felt I don't belong. If that's the question.
That's what I wanted to find out.
No, I don't get that.
Okay, that's
not
beautiful.
at work, not at home, not in friendships. No, I'm not getting that, and it would be wrong for me to sit here and say that.
Okay, I like it. And even I think, to be honest, there are people who say Indian and they say it meaning the same way they would say Kikuyu. You get, it is actually another tribe. You know what I mean? They don't say Indian in the sense that India from India.
Yeah, you see, there's the Indians, us, who've been here. This is our home, and the Indians who are expatriates have come to work, they've settled here, etc. Even culturally,
it's different.
It is different.
Yeah.
Like even the way we speak and stuff, there's a bit of a difference. Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so where we were still at this point, I love the rabbit holes, because the rabbit holes educate so many different people and make people understand the different cultural dynamics as well. So you tell your dad, I'm leaving A-levels, I want to go in. And what's the plan? I'm hearing you say in America. Tell me more about that.
I wanted to go to America. I was very clear. I just loved America. I just thought there was this wonderful world. And so when I was 17, 17, I went to the US. My sister was already there. She was living in Florida. So it was an easy transition, and okay for my dad. Actually, Richie, the truth is I was forced to go, because from the time I left A-levels to say I'm doing this thing of trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, I just become a little bit wild. I was partying, I was drinking, I was wild. Now, understand my home situation. My dad lived in Kibwezi for business. He'd come home on Mondays, he'd finish seeing us, etc. Wednesday, Thursday, he's gone back because weekends on Mombasa Road before El Nino or around El Nino time was bawling. Fuel, people are driving. You know, this thing of people flying to Mombasa only came in the recent
You'll
years.
forget even SGR.
There's none of that. Mombasa Road is trending. We're running Hunter's Lodge service station. We're also running Hunter's Lodge, the lodge itself. That was my father's running.
Yeah.
It's the biggest stop. We were killing
Wow.
great money, not from fuel, not from the petrol station, from the canteen, all of that stuff. So things are good.
So wait. You had on the way down to Mombasa, you actually had
2 fuel stations.
Which one and which one?
Shell at Hunter's Lodge and Kibwezi, the BP that's on the main road.
Yo!
So Hunter's Lodge is serving tourists, BP is serving the agriculture side of things, fuel, a lot of bulk fuel. At the time, I think it was a lot of NGOs are buying from us because they're based in Kibwezi, a lot of, so we were doing extremely well.
KJ missed out at this time.
I don't know if they paid school fees on time, but...
So, okay, you explaining the dynamics of your dad not being there. So
yes,
what happened?
So
now
me, I'm a party animal because my mom is completely easy. My mom we cheated my mom, me and my brother especially. My mom was just, like I said, I came to absolutely love and adore who my mother was in my teenage years because I realized this woman just wants to be happy like the rest of us, right? She's being the best form of mother she can. She may not be cooking and stuff, but she's supporting our dreams. My mother was the one who'd go to the Ministry of Education and climb all those stairs to make sure we got that. You know, in those days, for you to leave the country, the government would have to stamp a letter for you. You couldn't just go. My mother was the one who was doing those staircases every single day. No one else, in her high heels. So I learned this woman is willing to kick ass for us. So, but then we were also partying with my mom. Like, our friends would come home, and we're not Walevis and drug addicts. Please don't. It's not that.
No one was doing drugs
It's
at that time. But Walevi, yes. I'm shocked that you are not.
You know, but there's my mom. Our house was the house everybody would meet at before we're going out now to Pavement and Kani and Black Cotton and all the places.
So this is what? This is 90...
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
Early 90s, yeah.
Okay.
So I
give me context. Early 90s, 95, 90?
No, 92, 93 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
93. Because I finished my degree in 98, 97. Hey, I should go and, Richie, I should have looked at my documents
It's
before
okay.
coming. But
98 was Bomb Blast, so that's how I know those milestones.
And I had just come back home.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is before that
this
time.
is 5 years prior, so 92.